Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will introduce myself. My name is Zainab Agustin. You can call me Zainab or Nina. And now I study in University of Nahdlatul Ulama Blitar, and I made this video to fulfill my final test in intermediate listening course. My lecturer asked me to retell what she explained on the YouTube video, and now I will explain one by one. Let's go! Okay, the first video I have topic about listening, and I have three kind about listening. The first about listening difficulty, and second about listening strategy, and the last about what should you do in listening class. And so, what is listening difficulty? Means that difficult that most refines by English student learners. Therefore, it is really common if you that listening activity is the most difficult lessons it needs to be practiced. And how many kind of listening difficulty do you have? And I have 7 topic. Maybe do you have kind of listening difficulty? The first is clustering, the second is redundancy, the third is reduced form, and the fourth is perform variable, the fifth is rate of delivery, and the sixth is stress, rhythm, and intonations, and the last is instructions. Okay, the first topic is clustering, and the meaning is you have listen speaker and get one word or some word and not only completely. This is clustering. And the second is redundancy. Redundancy, repetition of rephrasing, elaboration or detailed insertion of I mean. And the next topic is reduced form. Reduced form is similar by clustering. You listen the statement completely, but you don't know what the meaning. Okay, the next topic is performance variable. Its main performance from speaker when they are speaking. Sometimes you find the speaker speak loudly, sometimes you find the speaker cannot speak loudly, and sometimes speaker speak clearly, and sometimes the speaker is speak not clearly. Okay, the next topic is rate of delivery. You think the speaker speak too fast? Can you not catch anything? You hear, you listen, but you get nothing. And the last, you ask to yourself, what does the speaker mean? What does the speaker tell me about? You think like that. And the next topic is stress, rhythm, and intonation. In these conditions, you might listen the intonations by using high intonations or low intonations. You only cut intonations and you then cut the meaning. And the last topic is interactions. Okay, the second kind of topic is about what kind of strategy can you use in listening class. Actually, there are not any specific strategy for listening. This is only step. The first, avoid selective listening. You have to listen everything you can hear and you don't know about the meaning. Second, listen of the context. You cannot find the prophet statement mean. The third, listen for the speaker feeling and control your emotion. Maybe he or she is angry, happy, worried, and etc. And the last, recognize male or female difference in speaking. And the last kind of topic is about what should you do in listening class. You can do the first, you have to stay focused. Don't play handphone in class, don't chat with your friends, and don't play with your friends. Have stay focused. The second, listen carefully for the first. For the first time, you should focus for listen. Just focus for listen, not make any note, not write anything. And the next, write everything what you hear in second time and the next. Everything you hear and next, analyze your letter or your words. Try to connect your note with the speaker feeling. And last, don't be give up. Just be confident. You have made many notes and you cannot find the meaning. It's okay. Learning is a process. Okay, might be enough from the first video, and now I want to next for the second video. Okay, now I will explain about the second video. The second video, the topic is about English learning style. In this video, Miss Fitri was going to tell about two kinds and two parts of the brain which is have relationship with English learning. What are they? They are left brain and right brain. Left brain and right brain is different characteristic. And now I'm going to talk about left brain dominant first. And the characteristic from left brain dominant is the first is intellectual. Remember the name is a characteristic from left brain dominant. And the next characteristic is respond to verbal instructions and explanations. And the next characteristic about left brain dominant is make objective judgment and explain instructions. And the next prefers the place searching information and analyze reader. Then mean for analyze every sentence is the next left brain dominance, and relies on a language, thinking and remembering. And the number 10 for characteristic from left brain dominant is prefer talking writing. So when left brain dominant have problem, they can to solve their problem by talking with persons. And the next characteristic is prefer multiple choice test. Over those the characteristic, control feeling is one of the characteristic by left brain dominant. What is mean? Is mean left brain can control the feeling. The next characteristic is learnly use metaphor, and the last characteristic is favor logical problem solving. Might be enough the retelling from the second video, and now I will next to the third video. The third video is same from the second video, is about brain dominant. Characteristic about right brain dominance. The first is infinitive think everything by using their feeling. Second, remember face. If the left brain remember name and the right brain is remember face. 3 is respond to demonstrations. For example, illustration or symbolic instructions. The 4 characteristic is experiment randomly with less research time. And the 5 characteristic is make subjective judgments. The 6 fluid and spontaneous. And the next characteristic is prefer elusive, uncertain information. And the 8th characteristic is sanitizing reader, make conclusions after reading something. And 9th characteristic is relies on image in thinking and remembering. And the next characteristic is prefers drawing and manipulation object. And next prefer open-end questions. Next characteristic is more free with feeling. Next, frequently uses metaphor, and the last characteristic is favor intuitive problem solving. The meaning is when the right brain have problem, they are to solve by their feeling. Okay, might be enough for the third video, and I want to next for the last video or the fourth video. Okay, now I will tell about the last video or the fourth video, and the topic is about a good language learner. This video is about a game that I aim to measure how strong you are to learn language. Before I mention statement, you have to give the point in every statement on your conditions. The point should be 1 if you never do the statement, and 2 if you seldom do statement, and 3 if you sometimes do the statement, and 4 if you generally do the statement, and 5 if you always do the statement. And now I want to detail the statement. The first statement is willing and accurate question. They are kind of learner who can grasp the pattern of the language target. And the second statement is a try to get a message across even if specific language knowledge is lacking while listening something or reading something. You do not want the meaning of the others, and you try to open your dictionary or browsing to get the message. What number can you give for the conditions? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? And the next statement is willing to make mistake. And what the number can you fill in the conditions? The fourth statement is look for pattern in the language constantly. When you are reading, speaking, listening, you always to try to look for the pattern. You always give attention. If you read, when you speaking, you always can speak carefully. Be considering the pattern. And what your number from the condition statement is practice as often as possible. You will practice the target language as often as possible when you are in the class or inside in the classroom. You will practice speak English and write English, listen English. So choose the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. The sixth statement from this game analyze his or her own speech and the speech of others. So what number will you give for this characteristic? Is number 8 is enjoy grammar exercise. Some people think that grammar exercise is difficult material in English. Actually, it's not difficult. Let's match. The key of English is grammar. If you want to success in English, you can love grammar first. So, what number can you give from this statement? Began learning in childhood. If you're learning English, science, 6 years, you will easy if you learn when you're teenagers. What number you can give from this statement? And the next statement, the number 10 is has an above average IQ. So, what number can you give for the statement? The number 11 statement is has good academic skill. So what number can you give for the statement? And the last statement is has a good self-image and a lot of confidence. So what number can you give for the statement? Okay, might be enough from my detail about a good language learner, and I hopefully this video make fulfill my final test in intermediate listening. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.